All right, recording is started. You have the indicator that the recording is started, and you have given your approval to be on the video. So we have planned this session until 9, so that gives us 1 hour and a half. It is recommended to play for 1 hour before starting a debriefing. And therefore, what I would like to offer to you is that I explain you the rules within 15 minutes. So something serious where you would be able to ask some questions, but not too many questions, because you will rediscover that during the game while playing. So I want to give you enough context so that you can enjoy the kickstart, but the little details on how much it costs, what can we do now, how do we throw the dice, these details I will explain to you quickly, and then after that we will go again in the details during the game, because it's a collaborative game. So it's not like I'm going to play against Vincent so that I can get a better score. No, we try to achieve something, to survive, to have our company surviving the kind of incident that can happen by building a good DevOps infrastructure, DevSecOps infrastructure, and practices, good practices, so that we are not running out of budget and we can still pay for the security incidents which are going to come. So balancing our money, our budget between investments and still being bankable when something bad happens. So 15 minutes explanations with the slides that Koen has built, then 1 hour playing, and 15 minutes debriefing. After that, we can switch off the camera and we can have some chit chat and speak for another, let's say, maximum 15 minutes, because we all have families and we need to stick to the time. Would it work for you?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm launching the slides. I need to find them back. I stored them. They are also on the Tabletopia website. So on the first page that so up here it is. On the first page where we will start the game, I will show you where the instructions are. Voila. So I would like to know if you can see the slides.
No, we see you.
No, because I didn't share my screen yet. That's why. So that's good. You were not looking at my computer in the meantime. Security, security. Share the screen, share the application. So now you should be able to see the slide that I'm going to use to explain you, right? Can you?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes.
So the name of the board game is Build, Run, Improve, Repeat, and we will play it online on Tabletopia. So we will have a 3D table, and we will have to get used to the user interface. So I'm explaining the rules of the game, and as soon as we enter the online environment, where I will give you the URL, we will have 5 minutes of discovery on how to turn around the table, how to move the camera. For now, I explain you the rules of the game only. Voila. So the goal of the game is to practice, get a sensation, get hands on the DevOps cycle. So you recognize the infinite loop where you have the plan, code in blue, in light blue. In dark blue, there's a continuous testing, which is making the connection with the operational part, release, deploy, operate, and back to the plan. So we will send something like that. We will have release cycles, and we will be able to play with the different parts, the different approach which are there. So I'd like to get a bit more space here, so to hide the cameras. So we will have to invest our money. The way to balance the game will be to decide what we do with the money. So we have the possibility to invest the money to improve our way of working, but we have to keep some money to pay for the drawbacks and for the cost of security incidents. If we run out of money, we lose the game. And until we still have some money, the game can continue. And after 1 hour of play, we can start to close and see what we have learned, what we have experimented.
Do we also win money or not?
Yes. Okay. We will cash in, and I will tell you how. Because here you have on the board, you have the cash here. It starts on the queue here. You see the blue part, which is here. So you have the build approach, the improve approach, the repeat approach, the cash here. And after the cache, you also have a part which is related with the running monitoring. The cards, they have two faces. The face that we use most of the time of the game before there is an incident is the one that you see here. So we can see the part of the DevOps, which is the planning part here on top. The approach, which is just below. So for instance, coding standards are one of the approach. And here the level, we have different levels and we're gonna upgrade. But to upgrade, there will be a cost and there will be an associated way for the game to behave depending on the maturity that we have on DevOps. So we have several performance level and we will invest. We will start with the level 0. The other side.
What is the queue?
The queue is the way the game runs, and the game runs in a different way based on your planning strategies.
Yeah, so, but what is queue? What is the difference between Q2 and Q4, for instance?
It will come when I have an example to illustrate that. Just in few minutes. On the other side of the cards, you have the cost. Here, the incident, depending on the nature of the incident, which are represented by the icons, and an explanation for why this is a cost for this incident. So we have some tokens. We have the features which we are going to try to deliver. Hopefully, we will deliver some of them. And the improvements, instead of working on features, we can work on improvements. So we pay not with money, with the cost on the card, but we are going to pay with implementing these features. And the technical depth, the known vulnerabilities, and the incidents, the orange ones are going to be things which are going to be in our way. So things that might cost us in the future if we don't solve them. And the red ones are the incidents which appeared. We have several types of incidents. You can recognize the type of incidents by the icon. So that's a breach, a security breach, a bug, an outage, a performance issue, and this is the performance, so the load, and this is the performance. So we find these elements on 2 dice. So the regular dice that we throw to make the work progress, and the security incidents that can happen, the incidents that can occur at the end of each round. So how do we play the game? You have seen that these 2 colors, the blue and the orange, are present on the board. So we have different stages. Plan, code, build, and test. Then it goes to the release, deploy, operate, and monitor. And each of these have several approaches, which are sub-stages, if you want. Sorry for that. So what do we do when we play? So we have to decide, and that's already the first decision we will take at the beginning. We have to decide if we play sharing all the responsibilities and sharing all the money, or if we want each of us to be assigned to a specific stage. So we are 4, we could take 2 stages each, or we could decide to actually share everything and share all the decisions and share the money. In the same way, if we divide the responsibilities, then we can divide the budget. And if we decide to do an investment, an improvement in one of these stage, in one of this area, then it will be taken from this specific budget. So we will need a I would say, we will need a CFO, a chief financing officer, to take the notes of the bank account when we will decide to invest money. I can propose to do it for the sake of fun for you, just to focus on the game, on the flow, Vincent.
Yeah, but I for this experience, I would suggest, allow me, that we do shared responsibility, because if we just divide the money and divide responsibilities, we know already where it will end. It will end.
Okay. Well,
I don't want your crap to be released because it will crash in production. It will cost us hands full of money to monitor it and keep it up and running, Vincent.
Yeah. So just for discovering how this works, I think it's better that we.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay, but you start to see that you can use the game in different ways. Like you can simulate a real situation with taking the people of a team who are responsible of several aspects, and you can divide the budget, and you can use the game also to simulate the negotiations that you have to have in your sometime in your teams, in your companies, and that's one of the things that you can do. So we already decided, kind of, and we didn't ask your ghost what he thinks. Your ghost, you go with the flow?
Yes.
Okay, so we will share the budget and we will share the responsibilities. It's already decided. So we will share the responsibilities. We will have 1,000 credit. It's not euros, it's not dollars, it's just credits. And then one of us will take a piece of paper and we'll do the counting. So whenever we decide to invest money, we will take out of that. When we cash in because we have delivered the feature, then we will get some additional money. All the activities, all the areas are starting at the level 0 of maturity. So that means that some activities will not take place. Like for instance, the analyzing the code, automation, these kind of things will not happen. So they will not require us some time. So features will be easier to develop, but that's a lure. That's a lure that things are easier to deliver because you have no effort to do to improve things. So we will get a feeling that things are going faster, but if we do no improvement at all in this maturity, in this performance, then when an incident is coming, it's going to cost a lot more. That's the only thing I can tell you for the moment. It will be up to us to decide how much of our money we invest before the first incidents are coming in. I think that I can skip this one. It was just to explain you that we have different strategies for all we want to invest our money. The cost is here. So that's what we will spend, 100 out of the 1,000, if we want to make the choice of improving the plan, the way to plan, and this is going to change the queue. Vincent, I'm going to explain the queue very soon.
Yeah, okay.
Queue size and flow. So the queue is the amount of features that you have to work on in the same time. So we cannot deliver a single piece, a single feature of the project unless we deliver all the features of this project. And the queue is giving us the amount of features that we have to work on. So the more, the tougher is going to be to deliver. But we cannot work on smaller increment unless we invest in better planning activities. The flow is explaining us how the pawns, all the features are moving from one card to another on the circuit that we have. From the queue starts here to the cache there. So the blue tokens are the features, and we start the queue here with the amount of things that we have in the queue on the card. And by default, if we take the level 0, then we put 4 tokens, 4 features to deliver. And we won't cache anything before we will have delivered these 4 tokens. To make the tokens move, we throw the dice, each of us once. And after each of us, we have worked and we have delivered work. And that's the way they move. So the queue is 4. We have 4 here. Then if we throw a dice, I mean, your ghost plays and he gets 6, then he can get each of them following the flow. So the flow, all queued features need to move 1 together, one activity at a time, only queue new items when the project is delivered. So when the 4 tokens are cashed in, then we can start a new project by putting new elements in the queue here. And they will move 1 card at a time. So first, the 4 of them, 1, 2, 3, 4. We still have 2 points. 2 cards, 2 tokens can move to the next card. But what we can't do is to take 1 and to move it 3 cards away, because the flow tells us that they have to stay together. That's the queue and that's the flow.
Okay.
Remember that it's not a full simulation of what the flow is in a real situation. It's still a simulation, it's still a board game, right? If you get 3, you have 4 tokens, 3 are moving to the first card, and 1 stays behind in the queue beginning. Then next time, you will have to move this one before you can start to move the tokens to the second card. You have cards where it's written no action. That's the easy ones because we have no code quality, so we have no time to spend. So it doesn't stay on the card, it automatically moves. But sometime after, when we will have invested enough, the code quality will be automated and it will have cost us a lot of money, but it will not stay on the card. Some of the cards will allow us
I didn't get that, Jord. I didn't get the
Remember
last one.
that this no action and automated simply means that the token doesn't stay on the card, it goes to the next card immediately. You will see that in practice with the game, it will become clear and clear and simple.
Okay.
You have another kind of progression where it's written skip, which means that you can bypass this card and make your token move to the next card. But that means that you take one of these tokens as a technical debt. And this technical debt might transform, when you have an incident of the same kind, might transform as a double incident. The incident which happens, plus the technical debt which transform as an incident. Again, this is a little bit complicated, but it will be very clear when you will play it, when it happens. So you will queue here a technical debt, and you can work on this technical debt in the same way as you can move features. So with the dice, you can try to deliver the implementation of solving this technical debt. At the end of the round, so Vincent has played, Dennis has played, Yorgos has played, I have played my dice. We have moved the features. Then we have to check if we have an incident. We throw these 2 dice, and we gonna have this incident on the top. Here it's a bug. Only if we get an even number. If it's an odd number like 3, nothing happens. If it's an even number, then we get the incident. And the incident has a severity, low, medium, or high, depending on the score of the dice. And then we have to calculate the cost. I will show you during the game when it happens, the cost, how it is. And we have to have enough money to pay for the cost. Otherwise, we go bankrupt and we lose the game. We win the game if we manage to succeed to play for 1 hour without going bankrupt. What can possibly go wrong? We can have vulnerability, so which can be fixed as soon as we want, but they are becoming a weakness. We can have bugs. We have to fix them ASAP, but also we have to count for the loss. So we calculate the loss. The vulnerability is not a loss yet. It can transform as a loss if we get an incident, a security incident. Security breach, count the loss, and will transform the vulnerability as a second incident. System outage, we have to count for the loss. Unexpected load, we have to count for the loss. Performance issue, we have to count for the loss. Now, what can happen if we have a vulnerability? We don't pay yet. So we can try to solve it like a technical debt, or we can just let it go and see what happens. You know what happens in this case, huh? When an incident happens, you pay more. And that's what happens. If we get a security issue, this vulnerability transformed as a second incident, and both of them are counted. And then we pay a lot, and we can go very bad on the bank account up to the bankrupt. So that's the type of incidents you have on the top. And they appear, they are materializing if you get a 2, a 4, or a 6. that's the way to count the cost. So we count the cost on this card only for the incidents on the dice which correspond on the icon on this card. We are almost done with the explanation. So that's the severity. If we have a total cost of 500, if we got 2 on the card, we don't pay 500. We pay only 50, 10%, because it's a low severity incident. But if we get a 6, then we pay really 500. You will ask me how much it can cost to us if we do absolutely no improvement and the first incident reveals. It's between 0 and 1,000. So that's really why the game is made with 1,000 from the beginning, because the investments are going to allow us to save money on the incidents, but we can't spend all our money. And the technical debt also can transform as a double incident if we get a bug incident happening. And actually, for the time being, I think that you know enough, guys, from DevOps to know that you can decide to let the technical debt and the potential vulnerabilities to stay on the side, on the bench. But you know that if you have to work on 2 fronts, that the technical debt or the vulnerability becomes as a second incident, and we pay even more. Again, that's the same thing. So finally, yes, we will manage to deliver some features. So if we have queued in 4 is the queue is 4, then when the 4th token of feature arrives here, then we cash in, and we cash 100 by each token. So if we are in a very simple planning with a queue of 4, we get 400. And that's the way to create the revenue. And there is a last thing that I can tell you, that instead of paying for the improvements, we can introduce the token to build improvements, so to work on implementing the improvements by yourself. And then we spend the dice on the same way as we would have spent the dice to make the features move on. It's just that instead of moving a feature, the blue token, we will move the green token. And once it arrives at the cache here, then we have an improvement for free. So when to invest? Only at 3 stages. At the very beginning of the game, as soon as an incident occurred.
Yeah. Just to be sure, so either you buy the improvement, or you invest your time in it.
Yeah, exactly.
If you buy, you get it immediately. Otherwise, it needs. Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
It's like hiring an external guy with the knowledge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the idea. I mean, remind you some situations. So when can you invest? Only at 3 occasions: at the start of the game, before the game starts, very soon, guys, in 1 or 2 minutes. When you have delivered something, after you cashed in, or after an incident occurred, because you start to realize what it costs not to invest, and then it triggers the will and the wish to invest. That's it.
Alrighty. Where do we go? Where do we go? Where do we go?
So stopping here. So I am going to type in the URL on my browser, and I will share it with you. But first, I would like you to see the screen how to launch a game, so that you can be familiar with that. All right. So first, I'm launching a browser, and that's normally the time where I have to tell you that it's sometimes some people on Tabletopia, and it's not for this game, it's also for the game I'm running on Tabletopia, another serious game. Some people experience some lag. It's kind of demanding on the bandwidth. And if you have a black screen where you cannot load the board game, press F5 and wait for the game to reload, right? So can you see my screen? Can you see the
Nope.
Sorry?
Share it.
Not yet.
Not yet. So it means that I didn't share my screen.
Exactly.
Or I didn't share the good one. Just a second. Voilà. No, you should be able to.
Yes.
Okay. So we go on Tabletopia. So Tabletopia is an environment where you can play on a tabletop like a 3D table. So we are going to play online. So I told you that here you have the slides that I showed you, the rules, and the summary of all the stages that are existing. We can play between 3 and 8 people, but honestly, I would also be tempted to play alone. So normally I should be able to log in with my account and to invite you to my game. That's the wonderful demo effect. Okay.
Now you register yourself. You should go back. Go at the bottom. There is a login. You already have a login.
Mm-hmm. Sorry. So am I logged in?
No.
Yes, I'm logged in. So no, I should be able to run the game by myself. Okay, that sounds better now. Oh, voilà. So to start the game, I'm going to invite you with this code and put it in the chat. And according to my experience, you should not be requested to log in to join this game. So first, I'm going to launch the. I know I need you to actually take a seat, and I will add a seat for your go. So for the fourth one, voila. So you have the. Did you get the URL on the chat?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So no, the only thing I don't know is that will it ask you to create a login or not? That is something
No,
I'm not.
already taking a seat.
Sorry?
I'm already taking a seat.
Okay, so you didn't have to log in.
Yeah.
It's only to launch a game that you need to log in. That's what my expectation.
I'm listed. Take seat. Yes.
Yes, I see Denis. I don't see you, Vincent, yet.
No, I'm there.
But you have to take seat. Click on one of the 4 boxes.
Take seat. Yeah.
You are there, Vincent. No, we wait for Yorgos, and I hope that your connection is going to be good. You remember that when you played MiWi cards with me, Yorgos on Tabletopia, yes. That was a bit borderline. Okay, so now I can start the game. Start now. First, it started a counter, like a timer for 5 minutes. And this is the moment of truth. This is the black screen of death that you can get at this time when it's loading. In the very beginning, for the 2 first minutes, I will ask you just to wait for your screen to load and to look at my screen, the screen that I'm sharing.
Do we press the OK, the continue button, or what do you?
Yeah, you need to press continue, otherwise it's not gonna work.
Loading.
Looking for closest game server, please wait.
It's still waiting. It's still the waiting screen. It gives some information. Yeah, no, it's downloading 10 megabytes. You see that on my side, it's go very fast. So if you have a different experience, that means that maybe it's going to be too slow on your side. But let's cross fingers and hope that it's going to be fine for everybody.
Mine was faster.
Okay.
Amen.
Okay. So voila. So you see the board game now. Yorgos?
Not yet, it's loading.
Okay, so while it is loading, please have a look at my screen. I would like to give you some hints. Normally, Vincent, Denis, and you, Yorgos, maybe also, you will see a splash screen, which is giving you some hints about what to do for the controls. I'm going to explain it to you. So first, the way to move left, right, forward, and backward. For that, you use your mouse and you click on the left button and you leave your button pushed, your finger on the button, and then you pan left, forward, backward, right. Okay, does it work? Your ghost knows already that because he has already played a game on them. Okay, you can also move cards. We will not move them until we buy them, but until we purchase or do the improvement. Then how to turn around the table. That's the right mouse button and turn left and right, but you can also go up and down to change the angle of the camera. Does it work for you, Vincent?
Yeah. I get like a how do you call it? The you know what I mean. But I can choose a camera and height hand and height.
I can pan to flip. It's okay. I can go.
The last hint is you can zoom in and zoom out using the mouse wheel.
Yes.
All right. So here we have something I didn't explain to you. It's not really explaining the rules of the game, but I think is going to become obvious. Each of us, we could have a color and we could say, I am assigned to this part of the loop. Here we have decided to share everything, the money and the responsibilities. So we will not need these pawns, these tokens. All right?
It's like playing Carcassonne.
Exactly. That's the meeples. This shape of tokens, we call them meeples on in the game. So now what you can do, Yorgos, where do you stand? You managed to log in to load the board?
Yes,
okay, good.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, that's wonderful. So now we can really start the game, and it's 8 sharp. Wonderful. I don't know who made it, but we can play for, I would propose 45 minutes. And then we have the last 15 minutes of debriefing before 9. And then we will switch off the recording. Would it work for you?
Yeah.
Oh, let's see how far we get. Huh?
Okay. So the first stage, we have already decided that we want to do a shared responsibility. Now, before we actually launch the first round, we have to decide where we would like to invest. In plan, in coding, in building, in testing, in releasing, in deploying, in operating. That's in running, actually, sorry. That's up to us. Guys, I know a little bit the game. I can answer your questions for what we should invest on to invest in this part of the game. You tell me what you would like to have as first improvement, or maybe you want to start the game without any improvement. That's also doable. We keep our 1,000 credits.
But to be sure, right now there is nothing going on in our organization, right? It's a greenfield.
Right now we have the basic level of planning, basic level of monitoring. For instance, we have nothing in the monitoring. We have in the operation only one system in production, so the monolithic approach, kind of. So we have this basic way of working, this basic approach, basic testing, no code quality, no nothing, no specific.
Those are the capabilities. I mean, work item wise, it's empty.
Work item wise, if we keep the planning with the Q4, which is the one which is active here, so we don't have yet the improvement of level 1, which is there. Then if we keep Q4, we will start the first round by putting 4 features to deliver. And we can even put an improvement if we want, but it will be up to us to decide if we spend our points moving on the features or moving on the improvement. If you want to see how the game runs, we can start simply by without no improvement at all, and we will wait for the first incident to come so that we start to see where we would like to.
For me, that's too reactive. Personally, I have the feeling that anything we do, anything we want to adjust becomes more difficult if we have dependencies. So I would like to start with less dependencies.
So that would be in the planning area, I guess.
Yes, yes, yes.
So you
That's
could
me.
say that you need to have a better visualization of the dependencies, or we need to have better teamwork to take care of the dependencies, or we need to have a better planning to actually plan these dependencies and the impact of these dependencies. Which one would you like to invest on?
I don't know what the others feel. Huh?
I would like to get the Q2. I would like to get the Q2 one.
Yeah, me too.
No, actually, we can get the Q2 that's all, because we can only do in one improvement level before the next investment.
Yeah, then let's get it to 2.
Yes.
Yeah.
I agree on that.
Okay, so instead of the waterfall approach, we will start with the agility and the iterative project approach. Agreed?
Everyone agrees. Huh?
We spent 100. We are at 900.
That's okay.
Something else that you would like to improve on? Testing, coding practices, monitoring, better release, better deployment capabilities?
At the stage we are, it's planning or code or just planning. I think anything else right now, it's going to be too much.
Okay, I would have said testing, because if planning gives you the ability to be more agile, then testing is the impulse that makes you change direction.
Okay, but
that would be
think that you are starting. You start your planning. You're starting your code, and you're already creating technical depths before your first deliverable. I mean, testing is good, but you should already make some effort in your code. At least you have your guidelines how to code things.
At this stage, that's what. Please look at my screen for the moment, and when we start to roll the dice, then you will look, each of you have your screens. I'm focusing there. For the moment, the business is responsible for all the testing. There is no testing done by anybody else but we can spend on some money to have business and IT are doing their part, and they are overlapping. So there is a waste of time, but that would be already something.
Testing.
I would test, yeah, because if you want to adapt your course, you need something to tell you what you need to adapt, and that is testing. But okay, our other colleague goes for build. Huh?
What I propose to you that whatever happens, we end the chit chats, the discussion and negotiations in 4 minutes to start playing the game, right? So I have put a timer, and at 8:10, the game, the company starts working. Is that fine with you guys?
No.
Yes. Okay. Dennis?
Yeah, fine.
Okay. Your goes fine. Okay, so if we do the testing approach, we share the responsibility with the business is 40. We go with that?
And we didn't do more?
No.
Okay.
We can improve one level at a time.
Oh, but then should we also not do like this? Something on code?
But on the testing, you can improve also another approach. You can improve, instead of manual testing in UAT, we could do automate functional test, unit and integration test, or we can also have a better build, or we could say that we do penetration testing from the beginning.
No, don't. Don't.
It was you who had to say that, Dennis.
If I have in testing area, I would put my money on the automated functional testing.
Yeah.
Okay, for you, Vincent?
Yes,
your goes? It costs 100.
I still disagree on that. I will prefer first to invest on the code. And then
on the code. So where do we get for the code? For the code, we can do nothing on security, nothing on versioning, or nothing on quality, or we can have coding guidelines, or just versioning, or just security coding guidelines. Or the three of them, if you want.
Guidelines, no?
Guidelines, of course, and versioning. Without versioning, you are lost.
It costs 150, or we can do versioning, and secure coding, it's 250. It would take us to 610 credits.
Can I see in security? What are the other improvements you can do?
What is this fast forward? What
security
is this fast forward?
That's the way the features will move forward on the card.
Yeah, I'm trying to read the cards. Huh? You
guys, we have only 2 minutes, so you can read all the cards or you can follow me. The security is everywhere. If there's SecOps, you have security everywhere. In the deployment, in the monitoring, it's everywhere. And the security, the lack of security everywhere will cost to us everywhere.
Okay. Yeah, I leave it up to you. I'm gonna explain my reasoning for now, and then I accept that you disagree, but just to explain my reasoning, which is in the ideal world we invest everywhere, but we don't have the money to do that. So
exactly,
the first way to find out where to invest is to find out where we are going wrong. So I would not invest anywhere except testing, because testing tells you when you go wrong, hopefully, and adjust with new insights going forward. Of course, I want versioning, because otherwise it's difficult to resolve certain things. But if I start reading the cards, I think I will want cards everywhere.
And we have run out of time. So deciding or not deciding is also taking a decision. We have the customers who are waiting for us. We actually have to start the day together. You can start to use your own board to move your tokens. And for the moment, I'm still trying to go back on the beginning. So we have an agile approach with some bit of testing shared with the business. That's what we have. So I propose to be the first one playing, then Vincent, then Dennis, and then Yorgos. It's in the order that I can see you guys. I'm just looking for the dice. Where are they? Here they are. So yes, thank you. So we'll
do I double click them, or what do?
So look at my screen. That's the last hint that I give you. Right click, roll the dice. So I have 4. So because we have a flow of a queue of 2, and the flow is that all queued features need to move together from one activity to the other. Only queue new items when the project is delivered. So for the moment, I've said I got how much? 2?
2.
1 and 2. Vincent, roll the dice.
Yeah, I did so, but I'm going to do again. Heck, yeah, that's better. Also this one, the other one?
No. For the moment, only this one. So if you allow me to do it, and after that you will do. So 1, 2, 3, and then you can spend 2 more. Go ahead, Vincent. You can move the tokens now. 4, 5. Yeah. This one has no action. You can shift it left for free.
Shift it left.
Yeah, you can. Okay, sorry for that. You can move it 1 card. No action. You can move it 1 card again. No action. You can move it 1 card again. Voila. You have finished your turn. And that's the same thing. The no action and the automation fast forward are actually allowing to move the features implementation faster.
Okay.
It's your turn, Dennis. Roll the dice.
Come on.
Right click.
Not flip, not rock.
Right click. Pop-up menu. Yes.
2.
Okay. So first you have to move the one which is below in the planning area, which is behind.
Because I'm not allowed to start something new because of the Q2, right?
Yep. That's it.
So the Q is actually an expression of the width limit.
It sounds like it.
Yeah.
So you have done 1, and then you do the 2. That's it. You have finished. Yorgos, your turn.
You said
right click on the dice.
Right click on the dice.
And then you choose the action flip. roll. 1, 2, and you stop here. So you still have 1 point, but I would like to explain the next thing. You see on my screen, I'm looking. Instead of spending 1 to move this one to the next card, but not now because there is the 1 token behind, but next time that the player plays, he can decide to, instead of using 1 point to move the token outside, he can skip this card and take a technical debt. So if you are on a card like that, where it's written skip, you can decide to go faster, deliver faster, but increase our technical debt. All right. So for the moment you can't, because we cannot move on this one. You have to move the last one behind for the last point that you have to spend. Thank you. So you have finished. We have finished the first round, and now we run for the incidents. So for that, I have to roll the 2 dice. Me or anybody. Huh? So we could have had a security incident, but thanks to the odd number, it's canceled. It doesn't happen. A new round, we play again, and I'm rolling the dice for my turn. I get a 6. So would you agree to, just for the sake of seeing what technical debt is, to skip this card and move the token 1? Oh, not that. Move the token 1 card without using a point, or we should not take a technical debt for the moment. It's too early.
No technical debt yet.
No technical debt. So it's 1. Vincent?
No technical debt.
Yorgos?
Yes, no.
Yes, no. Okay. That's very
no technical debt.
No, but I got it. So that's 2. Then how much did I get as points? 6. Oh,
6.
That's nice. So that's 3 up. That's for free. 4, 5, and 6. Voilà.
Really
Jord, one question. Is there any place that you can see the remaining steps you have?
What are the steps?
I mean, you roll 6.
Yes.
And is there any place to see what remains? I mean, you start moving.
No. You have to remember in your head. Huh?
Okay.
Vincent, your turn.
Oh, swell.
So you are doing the quarterly deployment.
Yeah.
Yes, it took you an entire quarter to do that. No, just 1. It was just 1. Okay. We have Dennis already playing. 4 and 5. So you're also doing the deployment, and you are doing for the infrastructure. We know your colleagues. You call the infrastructure guy to do the changes.
Yeah,
they have almost delivered.
They were not happy with what was delivered, but they're deploying anyway.
Congratulations, guys. Yorgos has finished the delivery. Do that.
Okay.
Move them 1 and 2. We have cash.
It's going to cash?
No. It's just going to cash, and then that's over. That's 2. So we have 3 remaining. But before we do the remaining 3, first we cash. So, okay. So we take them out, and I score 100 plus 100. That's 200 in our bank. And hey, congratulations, guys. We have finished the first turn with more money in bank than at the beginning. So we are
plus 60.
Yeah, we are at 160, and we still have 3 points to spend. But because we have cashed in, we can make some new investments. I think that by now you have started to understand how the game runs. The only thing that you have not seen is what happens when we have an incident. I'm sure it's going to come.
Not so sure.
Not so sure?
I'm pretty sure. Can we, seeing that we delivered quite smoothly and potentially ahead of the business expectations, can we also, next to buying in, can we put someone on a learning project?
Learning
Would that
project.
be okay with you guys?
Learning
Yes.
project. So what would you be? That's the collaboration?
This,
Okay, the improvements, to build an improvement. Yeah, good idea. Which one would it be? We decide later on?
That we can decide all together, but next to buying something,
So,
I propose maybe.
I think that I would like to listen to Yorgos and to put on the versioning. So if you would agree on that, I would put the blue token next to the versioning, or the green one to represent our improvement.
About maybe I would buy the versioning actually.
You would buy it?
Yeah, I think it's relatively urgent, so I would buy it.
I would agree. Yorgos, you're still from this point of view?
Yes, yes.
So we would buy the versioning for 100? Okay.
I would also like to see if we can get rid of our dependencies now. Can we get rid of the Q2?
Yes, no. We can pay for that.
How much does it cost us to get away from
150? Yeah.
I think that's worth.
But actually, sorry, the next level is still with the level on Q2. So we will not be agile. We will be agile and iterative product approach driven by product backlog, but we will still be with Q2. It will take yet another one to be on Q1. So if we want, we can put the investment on building even more.
But if it's okay, my feeling, I would buy the 150 and I would play for the 200, and then we are free of our queues.
I like the idea. I like the idea. Vincent?
Yes, fine by me.
Yorgos?
It's fine, yes.
Okay, so we have decided. So we have decided to invest. We have now at the bank, we have 810. We have one planning approach improved, and we have another one cooking up, and the
versioning, yeah, and the versioning.
And the versioning was purchased. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Should we start?
I would say yes.
We'll continue with 3. We'll have 3 more tokens.
Yes.
No, the queue is 2, so it's 2 features and 1 improvement.
Yeah, but we had 3 left from our.
From my dice, dice, there are 3 movements.
Guys, you have to decide what we move on first, the improvement or the features. They will be in parallel, but they don't have to follow the flow of the features. They live their own life. The improvements.
But wait.
What do you mean?
Sure, if you put one feature forward, you have to move the second with it.
Yes, but you can keep the improvement behind, or you can move the improvement alone up to the end before working on the features, or you can mix. They are independent. They don't have the same colors. You still have 3 points, Yorgos. You decide by yourself.
I will propose to mix them, to move them, all of them.
Fine.
1, 2. Yeah, that's what happens when your bandwidth is a little bit lower. The interaction with the tokens is somehow random. Thank you very much for your help, Vincent. Okay, so you have finished your turn. That's the end of the round. So we have to run for the security incidents. Dennis, you can run the security incidents? Or Vincent or Yorgos, anybody?
This one.
Yeah. Okay, and the other dice? Wow, we have a major security incident.
All right, guys.
Wow, it starts on the queue. We have to fix it, but first we have to pay for it. Well, let's see how much it's going to cost us. I hope we are not going to get bankrupt. So we flip them. There is a shortcut to flip with the F. And unfortunately, we flip all of them.
Until
yes.
Cash?
I hope we have enough cash, man. You can help me to turn the cards with the F key of your keyboard.
And why do we flip all of them?
To calculate the cost written on the cards. We are going to accumulate all the cost of all of them.
Why all of them?
Because that's the rule.
Always all of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But we check if it has the logo of our incident. So here you see on my screen, if you are looking at my screen, this one will count, this one will count, this one will count. Almost all of them. Not this one. This one, the code versioning saved us. It's not, we are going to save 40 credits. Okay, so let me count one after the other. 20 plus 10 plus 10 plus 80. Oh, that's expensive. We should have improved our coding quality. But wait for the monitoring. That's going to be even more. The 40 we don't cash, we don't spend. This one costs 100. Ooh la 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 la.
Is there a calculator?
610 in total, and then with the 4 you need how much?
And it's a major one, so it's 50% of the cost.
305.
305. Thank you very much for the calculation. I've done the explanation and you have done the calculation. Wonderful. So our budget has been cut by half. Now we are at 505. New round, but
whoa. Before you do that,
yep.
I saw 2.
We can invest. We can invest after an incident.
I saw 2 100s. Maybe it would be an idea to get rid of those.
There are plenty of them. Huh?
No, of security ones with 100.
Yep.
Yeah, but next time it can be a different type of incident.
Yeah, and we don't know what it's going to be. A bad load or performance issues.
Yeah,
yes.
but things which only have one icon is less important. Okay. I think but it's the ones with a lot of icons.
Wait, there is a lot of value in what Dennis said. We have a security incident. It stays here until we fix it. If we get a second one, we pay for both of them. So we need to fix this one as soon as possible. So maybe it's a good idea to invest in the security. In case we don't manage, we don't want to spend another 500. Or we go bankrupt.
Wait, now just to understand, when so if we now deal with the security issue first, then it's gone.
If we manage to make it go before we run another incident, yes.
And when will we need a run? When do we risk to run another incident?
We are about to start a new round. And after me, you, Dennis, and Yorgos have played, we run again.
Yeah.
With a chance to get another incident and potentially a security incident. So I'd like to go with what Dennis. I'd like to follow the advice of Dennis and do at least one thing which is very expensive for security. For instance, the monitoring approach. To invest.
Which is the highest? Which is the highest?
This one costs 100 for all of them anyway.
Yeah, that monitor one and that code one, coding guideline.
There is also in the code something.
Yes. So maybe, well, I think we're gambling anyway.
Yes.
But we should do the code quality and the monitoring.
Okay, so that would be
200 con.
50 for the monitoring.
Yeah, and 100 for the code, so 150 con.
And then this one would be 100, so 150. Mm-hmm. We are ending our budget with 355. Is it good with you? We can restart the next the next one.
Yes.
Can you help me to flip the cards? Thank you.
I think actually the game should start with the cards flipped.
No, that's there is a value in the discovery of what is going to cost you, like playing innocently in the beginning, running your company innocently. All right, so I play. I think, and that's my, you should not know too much in the beginning. So I'm going to play this one. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't want to go on the technical depth. 5, fast forward, no action. Okay, I've played my 5. I would like to recommend to fix the security incident first. That's what I do actually. That's what I did actually. Vincent, you can play. Run your dice already.
Up, clack, boom.
Yes, good one. Congratulations.
1.
Shall we wait?
No, wait. Fix the incident, please.
Yeah, sorry. 1, 2, 3.
Vincent is functionality first.
4, 5, 6.
What did you say, Dennis?
Vincent is always functionality first.
Yeah, no.
You are okay. So you're a 2. Okay, so we are almost done. We know that we will not get any new incident if Yorgos is good willing enough to fix the security. Okay, so we have fixed it. Bad news, we don't get money for reaching the cache here with an incident. It's just avoiding to lose money.
So
one more.
You can put one more forward. Yeah.
And now, Yorgos, please run the 2 dice for the next incident. Yeah, we have only managed to fix one. That another one, we won't get anything. Okay, so this would be a vulnerability, which is an orange one. Vulnerability is that. It would have been that. It would. I'm saying it would have been that, and we could have decided to fix it before working on the features. So in the same way as the incident. And if we would have left it behind us, then in case there is a new security incident coming, this one would have been transformed as a second incident, and we would have paid double, right? You get the idea? So we have avoided this situation, and that's good for us. Nevertheless, it could happen, so that you are aware. All right? So new round. I'm playing. You can use the R to roll. Huh? Vincent, would you like that, and Yorgos, would you like that we move on the improvement to get the flow?
Yep.
What did you say, Dennis?
My turn.
No, it's my turn. We are
okay.
discussing if we do the improvement before the features. I say yes, but what do you say? We wanted to get this one.
Yeah, because then we can move faster with all the rest we have. Huh?
3, 4, and 5.
No, wait. Sorry. Yeah.
Vincent.
Stress. Good.
Good. You call that good? Okay. Yorgos. No, Dennis, you play. No, we can start to play faster, guys.
This one is in our way. Huh?
If you want, yeah.
Okay, wait.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yep. Yorgos. So now I think that we can start to play faster. We have 15 minutes left to run our company. We have seen some events happening already, and we can play another turn or 2.
Sorry.
I think we will need to extend those 15 minutes a bit, York, because we will not get far.
We lost something here. Where is it?
Token.
So, York, I did something wrong.
It doesn't matter. We will take another one. Where is our deployment card?
Here, put that one. Come on, leave the card. Leave the card.
No, but it's a deploy, so it should be there.
Sorry.
And then the card release has disappeared. Yeah. I don't know where it is. I really don't know where it's gone.
I have it, but I don't know how to release it. somehow.
Okay, where is it? It's blocked in your hand, correct?
Yes.
Is it blue? Do you see which? Okay.
No, it's a yellow.
Click on it again and try to put it back in the center. It came in your hand. So just let me tell you one thing. It's to play board games, right? So you can have a hand of cards in front of you. So for that, you can pull a card and drag it to the bottom. Then you see a blue bar appearing, and then it will be released. And it will stay in front of you. And starting from that time, the other players will not see it anymore because it's considered like cards in your hand. Here, we don't need to hold cards in our hands. So who was playing?
I was playing and I need to move. I don't know what happened. Sorry. Yes.
So put it back and let us play for you. You give us indications.
Okay, I
told you that sometimes we have some nasty bug also in the game. That's one of them. So how much did you still have?
1.
Move your hand, please. Move your hand away. 1 is down. So we run the incident after the turn of Yorgos. Yeah, you can roll it. Dennis, you can roll it. Go ahead. So we have a major security again, the same one. So you know what is going to cost? A little bit less than before.
But it's gonna be 50 less than before, so it's gonna be 255, huh?
Congratulations for the computation. See what we have in bank. 100. So maybe we should not extend the game too long. We are almost bankrupted. So that's the end of the round. We should start a new round, and I'm starting, and we will obviously fix. Sorry, it's not what I want. Fix that first. Where 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. That's a good one. Vincent, your turn.
Huh. 1,
6.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Oh, that was a good one. We are starting to fix the security incidents with lightning fast.
Yeah, but they're costly. Speed is not it.
5 finished, so you can put that card.
Okay, I'm putting it. Thank you.
Voila, and voila.
So we cannot use the new queuing system yet because we need to wait for the delivery of the current features.
Yeah.
So whose turn is it?
Mine. I already played.
It's yeah. Okay. So that's the end of the round. We have to pay for the. You have not finished to play. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now we can roll the dice. And the other one.
It's okay. 3.
We have avoided a bug. New round.
Whose turn is it?
No, sorry, I didn't.
Yours.
It's me. It's always me starting. Oh, and hey, yep. 1, 2, 3, and 4.
No, we're supposed to move them together, right?
Yes. Yeah. I'm not following the rules. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Thank you, guys. At least you are following, and we have illustrated what we shouldn't do. Finally, in the end of the game, it was about time.
2, 3, 4, 5, and 6.
You managed to move 2 tokens at the same time. Congratulations.
Yeah, that's a good one. Huh?
You have made a stack.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh, that's going fast.
We need the money.
Yes, we do. Yes. Cool.
Let us move because it will end bad.
Yeah, Dennis, go ahead.
I'm not.
Now we have
anything.
3, right? So 4, 5.
So we stop.
Cousin.
We cache. So we move these ones back to the beginning. We cache in 200. So we are now at 300. We can probably afford to pay for some incidents. And you still have some points, right?
1.
So
One.
the queue is 1.
Yeah.
And the flow is each individual feature can move from one activity to the other. The queue new systems, when feature move to the next one, work in progress limit equal 3. That I'm not sure to understand how the work in progress is becoming 3, but maybe that's one of the things I would have to ask to Koen, because here we would have the work in progress limit equal
I
to
think
1.
you cannot. I think you I think you cannot have more than 3 tokens on one.
Including
one
the
stage.
improvements. Yeah.
In one. Yeah, in total running around. Because
yeah.
So they can move independently. Someone is burning.
No, that's me. That's me trying to look what there was below. So we have finished the round. We have to run for the incident.
Exactly.
Uh-oh, that's a low severity performance issue. So our system is getting slow. Yes, you have understood. We have to turn them up, all of them.
No, well, actually, only leave the ones where that apply flipped.
We don't know yet.
Well, but if you flip it and you see the icon is not there, then flip it back.
Yes, okay. Good one.
Makes it easier to count.
Yeah, clever. Thank you. Unfortunately, it is counting for many of them. Okay. Dennis, you want to do the calculation on how much it costs for this slow incident?
I'll do a quick
we will apply a majoration of only 10% of the total cost. That's my little reminder.
Why only 10%? Because
it's a low incident. We got 2 on the number.
Yeah. That's one of these rules.
That's you see, that's my little reminder here.
Yeah. Okay.
We let Dennis do the math. It seems to be good at it.
Actually, how do you get to the view on the top view? By clicking the...
Which view on the top view?
451, 45.
155?
No, 45 is the cost.
145? That's
no,
it?
45.
145.
No, 45. The total is 451. So 10% of that is 45.
Oh, that's not a lot?
No.
So we have a budget of 255 left.
Yep.
Voila. So new round.
Yes.
We have 3 minutes to go, unless we want to extend it by a bit, but that will be up to us to decide. We will take the decision at the end of this round, all right?
Yes.
Well, I don't know. I already have a bad connection.
3, 4.
Yes.
Vincent.
1, 2, 3, 4. Oh,
next.
Yeah.
Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Mr. Bad Connection, find the dice.
Wait.
Yes.
Wow, nice one.
Okay.
Yeah, and you can start a new.
I'm cashing in 100.
Okay.
You can immediately start the new feature and put it 5 ahead, I think. No? Let's earn some money.
We can get a feature, right? Feature
you have...
or...
No, for the time being, let's just keep the feature. The game is almost finished, so let's do some cash in.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
No, you already have spent 1 in the beginning.
Yeah.
Go to the cache.
But
okay, like what?
It's fine.
It's fine.
It's 5. It's 5.
Okay, we run the dice.
Now
we will have no incident, and this would have been a vulnerability. So we didn't see the vulnerabilities in action yet, and then we can run the roll. No, we say that at the end of this round, we decide if we stop here and we start the debriefing until 9. And then at 9, we can stop the recording and then we can go for a drink, a little chat together. But
let's debrief.
Yeah.
Yes, I will. Yes, I will agree on
it's
that.
fine with you?
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay.
Okay. So we have finished the game. After 45 minutes, we have decided to stop where the company is. We have made some improvements on the way to work together, and we finished with 355 credit. We had some incidents, but we solved them, and we did some improvement either by buying and also by building these improvements on our own. So, what's your takeaway, Vincent, Yorgos, Denis?
My first reaction is that the board is too empty and it's too detailed.
Mm-hmm.
With too empty, I mean that so we went for the Q4 to Q2. In my assumption, it was because the items would move much slower and ultimately the board would be full with tokens not moving. But actually you move them very fast over too many steps of the build and test and etc. So that's a little bit, but I'm a flow guy, so that's also.
Wait, Vincent. So what you mean is that you expected more work to be pushed into the system?
Yes.
Whereas even with the dependencies, it's not so much a problem because you just move them and then something new comes. So in a way, this is a very convenient situation for an organization to be in.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. In reality, what happens, but I think in part, the incidents are meant to solve that in the sense that the incidents can introduce new work items, but it only happens at the end of the round. So it's still controlled. Imagine you would, I'm exaggerating now, but imagine you would need to do the dice of the events after each turn of a person, then you would see happening what Vincent describes, I think, is that your work is constantly getting stuck. You have too many things to do, and you have that problem.
Now, actually, the speed is on the feature you're working on, whereas actually the speed you gain or lose in function of the incident or the bug or whatever, I would actually expect it to be more on the plan, the code, the build, the test as a activity.
But this is what happens if you make an improvement. When you cast and you make improvements, you buy new cards. In the future, you're improving your speed. How many things you will have in the queue?
Yeah. But I think it's good to learn the importance of each single aspect of security, of coding, of testing, release, deploy, etc., or and operate and monitor, but not necessarily as how to see how your system improves or not.
For me, what I gain from here, and as a technical guy, I find it more important is the people to understand that with when we don't do technical aspects of the project, we lose in costs. This will come with the incidents or whatever. And it's the big debate that before we start implementing some of the features, we should spend some effort doing this, and this. And the project manager, no, I want to see features. And it's always a debate. And I think it's good for the non-technical people to understand why we should have more technical enablers or a good balance of them.
Yeah, I agree.
Because if they are lucky and they don't see they don't see the problems in their production, they will never consider that at the beginning.
Yes, the only problem in that assumption that I see is that usually the people that don't understand the value of versioning, automated testing, penetration testing, and so on, are exactly the people who, if you would let them play this game, would not understand what is on the card.
Yeah.
So, yes, they can make the choice, but then you would first need to start by explaining what penetration testing is. Because otherwise they will see penetration testing and they flip it and they see a cost for a security incident, but they don't know what it is.
Well, in theory, everybody knows. Okay, most of the people know. However, it's with a game, it's more the cost. The term of cost is more visible because we run out of money. Clearly, we stop playing. You see it.
Yeah, but they can equally well state, if I would, that depends, but it's a useful debate. Right? It can bring a useful debate. But
this is the idea of the game. But exactly, this is my point. This game make things visible so you can debate on them, you can discuss them. Of course, we should have a balance. So
because the business guy will say, I can invest all my money. I will only be able to do half of the improvements. And if I have bad luck that the incident tackles one of the things which I didn't invest in, I'm bankrupt anyway. So you see, yes, okay, yeah.
It's not that, I mean, I think that the goal should not be, okay, just to win. The goal should be make you thinking in the project how you should do things and to keep a balance with that and priorities.
But this is the question I have about the simulation, but I would need to play it a bit more in depth to get to that point. But is there a way where you can balance out your investments so that for sure you don't go bankrupt? You know what I mean? For me, that's important for the learning. So the theory says that you need to do a little bit everywhere to gradually increase your maturity and improve your delivery. The question is, if I would very wisely figure out how to invest my money here the first round, can I guarantee I will not go bankrupt?
There is one thing I can tell you from my experience of playing the game on the playtest. We had 2,000. We had 2,000 to spend. And indeed, we were spreading the money on more improvements from the beginning, because you could spend 1,000 without being at 0.
Yeah.
But by the different playtests that we had, what I was sensing, I don't know what Koen's actually concluded, but what I was sensing and some of the takeaways we had in the debriefings was that actually having 2000 was making us too much at ease on and discussing a lot on plenty of investment, and we were spending more time talking about the improvements rather than experiencing what it costs to have an incident. So in the end, I think that the budget was reduced so that you could do less investment and less chit chats about, okay, let's spend another 100 here, and actually go more with spending a little bit just here in 1 or 2 places, like we have discussed, stop the improvement and start to run the game and start to see what it means not to do investments and to start to have some cost associated with the incidents.
But then I think it depends for what you want to use the game, because personally, I find the debates in many cases about the investments more useful and more productive in changing perception than the impact of the incidents, because those are easily parked by people as luck. It's just dice. Yeah.
I would actually avoid going bankrupt. It doesn't matter.
You see what I mean, Vincent?
Yeah, you cannot simulate your, okay. Maybe a good improvement will be in order to have the players to have some skills. So, how to say?
In our case tonight, we had some kind of a good selections of skills, huh? With Denis, Vincent, with you, with me. I'm more of a project manager, and Denis also. You as a developer, Vincent with the flow and lean experience. So we had quite of a good mix. We didn't have.
No, I didn't say that. Yeah,
I just finished my idea. Because it might not react to, but I think there is some value in what I was saying, even if it's not reacting to your point. We didn't have in the players people who don't know anything about IT. We didn't have the pure business person, right? The one we have to convince. But indeed, I agree with Vincent and Denis. There is, and because I am an agile coach, most of my work is to build conversations. What I need is to create the situations where there is the conversation which is started. And the more conversation in my work with the teams, the better. But it's still a simulation, which means that you cannot spend 1 hour discussing, although it's very valuable. You cannot just use it as a support for an explanation. You still have to experiment what it means to get a cost, I think. That's what I wanted to share, Denis.
So that's a little bit my remark. So the conversation on what you do as an investment is key. And I would actually, the more you invest, instead of the more money you win, I would like actually to move faster. And that is something that I don't see.
In order to move faster, you have first of all, when you start a project, you move slower.
You don't have the notion how fast you move.
I think I would like to show you something. You have, because we have invested a lot in planning, but if you see the code automations, they help you to move faster. You see, these ones are allowing you to move faster with reduced risks. So it's because we have decided to invest in areas which were helping us to reduce the amount of queue. We have invested a lot into that, but we were still moving at the same speed. But later on, you have things in the improvements which are allowing you to move faster.
Yeah, I think that's it. That's it. But still, if I were to leverage the game, I would be tempted to say, let's spend a good amount of discussion on where to invest, and then when you will come to disagreements, and then let the game play out to create circumstances where you can get back to the decision and say, listen, this is why we were discussing about it. This is what can happen, and so on. So yeah, okay. From that perspective, it would be useful.
Yeah.
I think so. Even so, what I miss is, and it's a little bit maybe tricking the game. Huh? But if you invest, you might invest in things that you will not need. So actually, I would prefer the game to cheat a little bit. So if you invest in I don't know, in code and build or whatever, that the things that pop up when you roll dice, that actually it's actually pointing out that you did not spread your risks and that you invested too much in coding and too less in monitoring or too less in security, etc., etc., etc.
Because that's the way life runs, huh? It hurts us where we are not prepared. Otherwise, we don't even notice it. But I would like to answer something to Dennis, because I really like the idea of the conversation. Of course, that's something that I value a lot, the conversation. But still remember that I have tried to make you play the game for 45 minutes, right? And we needed another 20 minutes to explain the rules. We need some fair amount of time to have the debriefing so that there is some learnings. And that already takes us toward 2 hours. So I don't know for you guys how much time you have, how much bandwidth you have from your teams to have a lot of learnings, or how much you can decide to spend half a day with your entire team to make it like more than 2 hours, to have more conversations, to have on top of that the simulation running. But I think that it's a little bit like, I'm going to go on the meta side, it's a little bit like the balance we have to build in DevSecOps between investing and running, and cashing in. When we are running the simulation, we also have to find a balance between the time that it takes us and the amount of learnings we get from that. So
yeah, but then I would like to argue, but that's my feeling, and potentially wrong, but I would like to argue that if you limit the game to quickly selecting 2 or 3 improvements, and then rolling the dice 10 times and getting 4 or 5 incidents, I'm not sure if there is so much learning.
Yeah, I was sensing the same thing as at the same time I was saying it. So it's for me, it's a difficult balance building a game, and it's a difficult balance running and facilitating a workshop with such for me, it's still a very beautiful simulation, because it has so many aspects built in, and we can use it to simulate a startup, to build an to simulate an SME, to build a major company. So there are some options in the end of the rules which are allowing you to tweak a little bit the rules to have more money, or to change the way the things are happening. And I find there is a lot of value into that. But indeed, that's still in our work of coaching, of facilitating the learning and the acquisitions of skills by the teams and by the management. There is a lot of balance to build into our facilitation, and that's a tough exercise, and that's why I'm very happy to have this conversation with you guys tonight on that.
I question. So I'm just to make my point. So in plan. So what we do now is we roll the dice, and this one, we roll this one. Where is it? Heck, where is it? This one.
Yeah.
And then actually you move the tokens over the cards. I question whether the learning of the investing in some of these cards, if you would not learn more, if you need less dices to move over the plan section, if you need less dices to move over the code section. So so that you really have the notion of, I invest in coding so I need less dice to move over this section.
Yeah, but that is what you get if you reach the third level of maturity, then they are automated.
Yeah.
And then you basically, with one dice, you go through the complete build step with one dice, because you have guidelines and you have blueprints and you have automation and voila. So it goes a lot faster. We just didn't get there.
Gentlemen,
well,
at this stage, I still need to interrupt a bit to remind the time and to be mindful of the time. It's 9 p.m., right? I'm very happy to be with you for 15 more minutes, half an hour, right? But it has to be a conscious decision from all the people here that we want to continue to debrief and to discuss, because we all have families and right? Okay. So is it fine with you, Vincent, Denis, and Yorgos, if we close this debriefing in 5 minutes? Then everybody who wants to leave can leave, and whoever wants to stay for another some minutes of discussing and other conversations about whatever else, we can continue, but then we would stop when the first person leaves, we stop the recording and we continue chatting, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Make sense? Denis?
Yes.
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay.
Something that maybe could be useful is that the flow, the number of things you have in the queue may be controlled not only by the cards, but also from the number of the people. The more players you have, the more people you have in your team, the more you can produce.
It's actually something that I'm not really sure of how it works. If you have 3 people or if you are 8 people, then if you are 8 people, you are going to have incidents less often.
Yes,
Right?
and the issue of dependencies between work items is going to hit you a lot less, for instance, because you have 8 people that can throw the dice. Even if you have to move 4 features together through these 20 steps, that's not so much of a problem.
With 8 people, it's not a big deal.
No.
But to which extent this is really simulating what really happens in real life?
Yeah, I don't think you have to simulate in real life. But,
Sorry, Denis?
Yeah.
No, go ahead.
No, I will say with 8 people, it's difficult to see problems. I mean, you can have 2 or 3 rounds and you have no defects at all.
Yeah, but in the first game that I have played, for 3 or 4 rounds, we didn't have any incidents. So we were having the impression that we're very good at avoiding incidents with the improvements we did. But when we started to have the first incident, wow, we paid a lot. Because obviously it was not, we didn't do the improvement in the way that it was, it would have avoided a big loss.
But maybe because you played with the inventor of the game?
No. He was watching. He was not playing. No.
Yeah, but you have been in touch. Out of my curiosity,
yeah,
what are the learning goals at the foundation of the simulation? So just to check from my perspective, and did I get there, or would I get there, or did I look at it from a different angle, and is that the reason why I didn't get there? So I'm wondering, do you know which learning goals and objectives are at the foundation of the simulation? So the inventor had something in mind that people have seen when they walk away.
I think that it is written in the rules, and it is exactly what you have mentioned in one of sentence. If I may quote you, if I invest all my money, I will improve a lot, but I will still go bankrupt. I think that's what Koen has tried to explain in the introduction of the game. And for me, the takeaway is also to understand all the different kind of aspects of things on which you have to pay attention. Even when you are a developer and you are not so well tuned or informed about DevOps, you don't know that these aspects of making sure that you have more frequent than just a quarterly release, that it is going to have an impact on your security. So that's kind of vulgarization for me by all the knowledge that he has collected on the cards on the topics where you can do an improvement. For me, that's also a big takeaway for developers or technical guys who are more used to implement software rather than making them operational.
I think I would learn a lot by reading through the cards and then come back with some questions. The one thing I didn't see so far is at the heart of DevOps is collaboration, right? To close that gap between what we see on the left-hand side of the board and the right-hand side of the board. And I don't see immediately in what we have been playing now in our simulation, how that's collaboration makes a difference.
And because it's important to you, I think that's the first investment we have done. So that's the shared responsibility. Okay. So in the beginning, only the business is responsible. Then we have decided to go for business and IT, all do their part for the test, and there is an overlap. And then business and IT, that's the one we didn't do. Business and IT do their part of the test, no overlap. And then after that, the final evolution is shared responsibility. Business decides what to test, IT decide how to test it. So that's kind of the collaboration. There is other parts of collaboration in the deployments. That's one of the ones that I have read for you about the infrastructure. So in the beginning, we are at 0. Now your colleagues call the infrastructure guy to do the changes. And after that, you get infrastructure change via service request. And after that, you go for change to infrastructure are done through self-servicing. And finally, the ultimate level is infrastructure as code, part of your source code repository. These kind of things are speaking about the collaborative part. But there is some others where you can find things related to that. I don't know all the cards by heart, obviously, but separate build and maintenance team is also something. Technology knowledge divided over different teams going from build and run, change request driven, all required knowledge to do the job in the team. So that's the plan level 2 for the team part. And finally, team of generalizing specialist.
I think thank you. I think your explanation helped me see the other angle, because I was from the perception that the improvements would be visible in the work items and how they go. And in this simulation, the improvements are visible through the incidents, not the work items. The work items are just there as a pace to pace the game, but the learning is on the incidents and not the work items. And I am used to look at the work items to learn, if that makes sense.
Actually, then
and the speed. Sorry, it's not only the incidents, but it's also the speed that you cast out.
But you don't see the speed. You don't see the speed.
You don't see it.
Well, no, I disagree. If you see in the code, we already had some speed things, and if we could invest on improve other things like testing or deployment, we could have seen it.
That I understand. Yes. What I mean with you don't see it is you don't see multiple work items and business deadlines and that sort of things being met more easy or more difficult. You see it in the number of times you need to throw the dice to get through a stage. I understand. But you don't see the work holistically.
We have tried to touch this point several times in the course of our discussion. No, it's almost 9:15. I would like to make Dennis, your light went off.
I have to move to the sensor. It will go on again. Just a second.
At this stage, I would like to prepare ourselves for closing. And the last thing I would like you to do will be individual speaking, like each of you individually without reacting to what the others are saying. I would like you to give a return of the time that you have invested, the famous ROTI, ROTI, return on time invested, which is a score that you give between 1, meaning that you really should have done something else of your evening, man. And you can explain it with just 1 sentence. And 5 would be like, my God, I've learned something so valuable that I'm going to invest time in learning more about this simulation game and about DevOps in general, right? Because there is more takeaways for me by learning more, like reading books or playing this simulation. And I will ask each of you to give me each one at a time, a number between 1 and 5, 1 being very low, 5 very high, and just 1 sentence of explanation, right? Would you agree to do that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Vincent, you can start.
Sure.
3. I would have said 4 if you would not have put that much to 5. And so I want to learn all the time. So I would have even said 4, but as you said, really, I learned something. No, but I learned. So 3.
Thank you very much, Vincent. Yorgos?
I will say 4, not so much that I learned new things, but because I found it very useful for other people to learn. It visualizes things.
Thank you very much, Yorgos. Denis?
Oh, I find it a very difficult question. I would be tempted to go for 3.5. You said a number, not an integer, so 3.5. Why? I think a little bit for the same reason as Vincent explained. I think to really, how do I have to put it? I think I already talked enough about it. But I think it depends how you want to use the simulation. And if I would dive into it, I'm sure I will find ways to make it really useful to let other people learn something. So that way I combine the feedback of my 2 compatriots.
And because it's a difficult, thank you very much, Denis, for your feedback. Because it's a difficult exercise, I will also try to play the exercise. Otherwise, I feel it wouldn't be fair. I'm tempted between a 3 and a 4, so I will give it 3.52. Why? 4 for me, I'm used to play simulations, not simulations, but serious games which are super fast to deliver. Maybe to deliver smaller learning than what we got tonight, but much faster, like half an hour and a takeaway. So, and that's the kind of things that I'm doing because I find a struggle to find enough time for the teams for them to get a big chunk of time to get a big learning.
Yeah.
So for this reason, I would score it a 3. But I love so much the science which have been summarized on the cards. I love so much the mechanism of the simulation. I love so much the topic, the DevSecOps, and also because I enjoy so much being with you, Vincent, Yorgos, and Denis, with this quality of interaction we had thanks to this game that attracted your attention. I would have voted for 4. So I cannot balance between the 2, and I'm voting for 3.5. And I'm going to close the recording here, but before I close the recording, and you can decide to stay or to go, but before I close the recording, I would like to thank you so much for your time on a Saturday evening. Vincent, for you meeting somebody that you have absolutely no clue who it is, who is going to propose you to speak about the thing that you know so well from a different angle, right? Denis, we had many occasions to interact together since several years, and I'm happy that we did that together. That's the first time I run the game of Koen, and I'm very happy that it is with you.
Thank you.
And to some extent, I would say the same thing with you, Yorgos, because recently that was with you that we have experienced the DevSecOps. It was fun. It was nice. It reminds me some memories. And there is somebody who is missing tonight. You know exactly who it is. Yorgos, that's our other friend, but tonight he's on holidays. He's spending some quality time with his family, and I told him, no way, you don't come. You stay with your family. We will have other occasions. So Yorgos will have other occasions to play with Karim. That's for sure. If you want it, we make it. We can play the game with 3 players, so we can have it. So Vincent, Yorgos, Dennis, thank you so much for what we had together. I'm going to switch off the recording now, and you can stay to have.
Quickly, I'd also like to thank everyone who took the time to play this evening. It was really enjoyable, and I think we really had very nice conversations. And I'd also like, seeing that he's going to see this video, to thank the guy who put all of this together and then made it publicly available, because that's really a lot of work that went into this.
It's an excellent work. It's an excellent work and complicated one. It touches so many things.
Yeah. So even if we have a
we are critical in nature, but
yeah.
But knowing Koen, I can speak to some extent for him. I think he's looking for this feedback. He's looking for the feedback that we're going to have. He's going to be very interested by our strategy, by what we have said in the end. So it was important for us to be really clear and to say, really to speak with our heart. And it doesn't. We still have enjoyed a very good game. I could sense it while you were playing. You had some fun. So.
Yep, fantastic.
Yep.
Yeah, it was very good.
Would you mind if I switch off the recording now?
Yes.